Hey gang, rev it up, car fanatic, sprucing up the home productions. Today we're going to finish the 30,000 mile service on our 2020 Chevy Trax all-wheel drive LS. If you recall, I did the coil pack and new spark plugs, AC Delco plugs, and I put the oil inlet feed tube on the turbocharger. We got that done. So now we got the vehicle up on all four stands. We're going to change the front rotors and the pads, and we're just going to do the rear pads in the back. But the reason I got it jacked up on all four ends, we're going to rotate the tires. We're going to take the front tires, put the front tires and put them in the back, and then we're going to reset our TPMS, the tire pressure monitor system, to let them know that the front tires are in the back and the back are in the front. And I hope that function works. We'll see. If not, I have to take it somewhere and have them do it. But we'll try and get there. But that's what we're doing. I loosened all the lug nuts with my 3/4 ratchet, so I have to put that much stress on my impact. So now I'm gonna take the tires off with the impact. We're gonna start with doing the front wheels first, and then do the rear last. So at 30,000 miles, what I'm expecting to see is my brake pads are worn down at least halfway. And the reason I'm changing the front rotors is most of the weight is in the front of the vehicle, and I can feel these little scratches on here, and I don't want no noises from my brakes, and my fingernail can catch it. I can feel it. And on the other side, this one looks a little rusted. And I just don't like the way it looks. I have found right here some little galding and pitting right here. It's like where somebody, I never changed brakes on this. I don't think the brakes have ever been changed. Still got GM on here, but I don't know where these little scars came from right here, but I don't like them, and I can feel waviness in here. So that's why I want to change the front brake rotors. I don't want no wobbling when I hit the brakes, and I don't want no squealing. So here's the little Torx bit they put in from the factory, and I got a special tool to remove that. Then you want to take the caliper off. This is probably maybe a 1/2 inch, and you got one right here. And then you pull the brake off and get the brakes out of the way. I'm gonna take a screwdriver and wedge that in so the caliper will come off easy. Then behind here, you see right here, you got a caliper bolt here and a caliper bolt on the bottom, and then you can loosen that up. But I like to get this loosened up first on both sides before I do anything. So this is a T30 Torx stick, and this is what's called the impact driver. When you stick this in here like that and you hit the hammer, it'll twist, and it'll twist like that. You hit it with the hammer, twist in, and it'll unlock that. And we're going to do both sides, and then we'll come back over and do the brakes on this side. Okay, for your caliper, these are with the slide pins. These are 14 millimeter, and the caliper bracket holder are 3/4 on a Chevy Trax. This is a 2020 LS. Now I got the hood open to check the brake reservoir, and the brakes is just a little below max. Max is right here. So I got enough room to take a screwdriver, if I can find one. Well, let me go get a screwdriver. A flathead screwdriver would be preferable. I think I put them all down here. Okay, that's too small. There's a good size flathead. And you want to take it, since I'm changing these calibers, it doesn't matter. You don't do that much damage. It's hard material. You want to squeeze in, and you see the caliber closing in. It's going all the way in, loosening up. The brake fluid went up, not even the max yet, so I can do the other side. So now that's free to spin. You see the slide in that? So now I can take this caliber off and hang it. Now I got my caliber hanging up and out of the way, and that piston is just about all the way back. So now we can just take the brakes out of here, which is not too bad for 30,000 miles. It's not too bad. I thought it'd be wore down a little more than that, but that's okay. I know the back are. So remember the orientation you take these off. You see this retainer, this is the brake wear. So I'm a good bit a ways from it. So that's going to, the new one goes on the inside here. Okay, with the brake clip on it. Alright, so let's put this aside. And what I like to do is put that on the inside, this on the outside. And that's the way I know the orientation of it. So now I'm going to spin the wheel towards me. And here you have your caliber bolts right here. These are 3/4 bolts, and I like to use my heavy duty equipment. This is a 1/2 inch, and it's a adjustable head, so it gives me an angle where I can get these off. Okay, so what I've done, I took my little drill with my wire wheel, cleaned up around the axle, and cleaned up around the wheel hub where the new brake caliber is going to go. I took my brake calibers off, and I got my wire brush here, and I cleaned it out there and here. I cleaned out the dust from inside here. Now I'm going to show you the brakes aren't that bad. 30,000 miles. That's not bad. Now here's the new brake. I'll put them together. The new one is on top, the old one's on the bottom. It's not that bad, but I love brakes, so we're going to put the new brakes on anyway. Alright, so the pistons pushed all the way in. I got to clean up around here, so I put brake lube around here. I put brake lube around here, I'm going to put brake lube in here, and the hardware right here. When I get the new hardware, I'm going to put brake lube there. Then I'm going to put brake lube on the ears. Then my sliding pins, I'm going to take them out, take the grease off that, put new grease on the sliding pins, even though the sliding pins are the ones that had grease. And the new rotor, I'm going to spray it down with some brake clean it off, get it on, and get that hose on, and get that screw in there. Okay, after we lubed everything up, we got the brake pads in, we got the caliper holder back on, and you can see where the green is, so it's torqued to where it was supposed to be. Same for the bottom. I got these nice and tight. So this side is done, and I can do it still without draining any of the brake fluid out of the brake reservoir. So I'm not going to show the other side, but when I get to the rear, I'll show the rear. Okay, the rear brake's not that complicated. Just take this bolt off, loosen the bottom one, and this will drop out. And this is the kind that you need a brake service tool to twist in. You can't push it in the vice grip, so you can't use the other clamp style that you use to squeeze the piston in. You have to have a brake service tool like this right here, and the ears goes into the ears on here, and you would match those up, and then make sure that you turn it back to the same way it was, or else the brake's not going to fit.